because I got the OG Sundown on here. We're probably gonna have another guest that's gonna be tapping in a second. I don't know. They were dropping off their kid. But how you doing, Sundown?
I'm doing great, brother. How about you, man?
And everything's. I'm staying blessed, man. What's new going on with you, man? I mean, how's life been
Uh,
treating
it's been treating me all right. I'm just low profile, staying low. Getting old. Getting older. Yeah,
you? How old are you now?
I'm 67. I mean, I
67.
don't look it. Yeah, I don't look it, but
Yeah,
I'm 67. Yeah,
67. I mean, you got 20 years on you. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Hey,
I'd like to get
so
those 20 back.
you got this 20 back. Yeah, he's like, yeah, 20 back. And we can do this in the backyard.
Yeah,
Sundown,
yeah.
Sundown will still probably go, but I think he's at the age where he's finally saying, you know, I'm a little too old for this shit. Um,
I'm where I'm at right now is if I don't get you in the first 30 seconds, you win.
I'm winning, and
You win. It's over.
I'm winning.
Yeah.
Anyways,
Yeah,
so yeah, everything's been good, man. So like a little bit about how the system's changed. Little
boy.
historical things from inside prison to the streets, how the court system, there's a lot of stuff that I'm gonna fill you in on, bro. That you'd be shocked. You know what I'm saying? You know,
Yes. I first went to prison in 1973. Yeah. Last time I got out was 2010. Yeah.
you know what though? Right now, I think it's one of the most violent times in the prison system right now. Believe it or not, even more
It
violent
is.
than
It
the
is.
70s.
It is violent, but it's not the most violent. You know what I mean?
I
I
think it's
mean back.
I think it's more calculated now. And
Yeah.
they're
Back in
more
the 70s. Little bastard, get away from there. Get away from there. No. My dog, little bastard. Hey,
past
get away.
previous dog.
Yeah. No. He's messing with the cat. Yeah. Yeah,
So
well, in the 70s, though, I'm telling you, man, it was much more violent, because it was more spread out. You know, it was like the big four. We call them the big four.
But
Soledad.
they separated you guys back then, though, right? I mean, you guys have been separated around that time, right?
They started separating us back then. That's when they started with the separation stuff. But there was all the recruiting was going on too, though.
Yeah,
Uh,
undercovers and all that, right?
yeah, all that, yeah, and because I mean they had me undercover out, undercover out, undercover out. So depending on the situation. Oh God, I'm falling down. Anyway, yeah, but what I mean is that like right now you got like this the S and Ys are mainly the ones that are getting violent right now, right? Which is a trip,
Yeah.
you know. Um, but I always thought that was going to happen anyway because you're taking ex killers, you know what I mean? You're putting them on a yard, and the guy's been a gang member and killer and shit all his
Sundown.
life.
I don't mean to correct my elder, but they're not ex-killers. They're still killers.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah, I meant that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. Is that they didn't forget how to kill? You know what I mean? They're still the same breed of animal, and you can't put them over here and expect them to just stop. Because that's the way they are. And apparently, like you got these guys that are going for the kill. They're not in there trying to razor blade people. They're in there trying to kill them. You know what I mean? And the way it was back in the 70s, man, it was man, if you'd have went after somebody with a razor blade in the 70s, you'd have got stabbed. You know what
No,
I mean?
they're using pieces, bro. They're using metal. I mean,
Yeah,
I think the Northerners have at least they've killed probably I think this year maybe 4 or 5. Just
yeah,
the actives, and
yeah.
Carnal. I know actual Carnal. I know got killed up there in Folsom, bro. I mean not Folsom, High Desert. Um,
Yeah,
I've been reading in I read an article the other day, right? It just came out, a couple of those Carnals got sentenced to the feds, right? They took deals.
yeah,
And in that article, it was talking about the different charges they had against them. And a
yeah.
couple of them were the charges that they had was, conspiracy to commit murder, but also in that charge was that they were doing the hit to make their bones, basically.
Yeah, yeah,
And it was their way into the familia at the time, man. Because I mean, there was a time period where it's expected for you to catch a body, but there was a time period where it just wasn't happening as
yeah,
much. People were getting caught up or just they were making excuses why they couldn't do it, whatever it may have been. Nowadays, they're kind of you got youngsters that are 22, 23 ready to take a life.
No, yeah, I know because they figure, hey, I'm here all day anyway. You know what I mean? What the hell? Come on, get in here.
I want to I've got a little bit of information about some of these killings, right? And
Yeah.
I want your input. Some of it's been because they freelanced. You know what I'm saying? They started selling, they brought in dope, kicked into the casa, and then started slinging, right?
Yeah.
Other issues that, same thing pretty much. It's all revolved around greed, around
Yeah.
people bringing in their own product and then wanting the fucking cut and then wanting more. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's the same storyline. I've heard that, certain people have been told that they can't move any product till the household product's gone first and foremost. And that's after they already kicked in their 25%. You know what I'm saying?
That's crazy.
I mean, how were the killings back in those days? Like, what were they over?
Well, okay, back then it was the war, and there wasn't so much of that until they passed the law about not fixing. You know what I mean? That was the only time there was really any kind of there were drug killings where people were ripping off people for their dope. You know what I mean? Like there was a killing where an M and an AB went in and killed this guy, cut his stomach open, and got the dope out of him. It took an ounce out of him of heroin. Yeah, in San Quentin.
What year was this?
That was in 70, I want to say 78, 79, around then, and 78, 79. Yeah, about then. Yeah, it was in East Block. And East Block. Was it East Block? No, North Block. I'm sorry,
Now,
North Block.
Wasn't San Quentin at the time basically a MA stronghold at the time?
Yeah, during that time right then, yeah.
They had you guys housed in different tiers though.
Yeah, but they had us like in Adseg and North Block, East Block, different tiers, yeah.
Now the SMI have yards nowadays, the mini yards.
Yeah.
Now they're getting rid of the SMIs now. They're going to get rid of that unless you're a high profile type of one, right?
Yeah.
Where would they put the guys that were basically PCs back then, or would they still be out there
in the hole? They were just putting them, just in the hole. Yeah. And then they had a program over in Soledad that they started a little program in Soledad, a PHU.
That's true. Yeah, that is true. That's the first PHU that they had.
One in Soledad. But basically they would put the PCs in the hole, because they didn't have any PC. They didn't have, except for Soledad. And then they opened something up in Chino. There was one in Chino somewhere down there. One of them units down there that they had turned into a PC thing. I think what's underground down there in Chino. There was something underground.
I've never been to Chino.
I think it was under Madera unit, but yeah.
I think Tiny Contreras is there right now, though.
No, he got out.
He got out, actually.
Yeah, he got out last year.
Okay, yeah, last year. Yeah. Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, he got out last year, and Tiny got out last year. Let's see, but there was they had the first PC unit was in Soledad. Then they started something in Chino, and then Vacaville. And they were just small sections of the prison.
Reception at that time, though. Remember, that was like still a North Daniel stronghold.
I'm talking about the main line, Vacaville main line.
Okay.
Yeah. As far as I know, that was it. You know what I mean?
Because during my time here, guys, when I hit the system like in the 90s, they were still out there. They would sneak out on the main line. Sometimes, whether they were, an XMA or NF, they would sometimes come in under a whole different type of CDC number. And then they would play the native car. You never how it was, or they would say they were from Texas.
Yeah, Texas or Indian.
You know, and some of them would just be out there. I mean, I was on the yard with Ricardo London, Bo, and fucking Smiley.
Yeah, little Smiley.
This was in the 90s, man. And these dudes were already on the list for a long time. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Well, not that long, maybe like 6 years. I think that's around when Bo fell off, around 92.
Yeah. 92, was it 92 when Bo fell off?
It's Hatchby, right?
Yeah. 92. Yeah.
So what they're doing now, Sundown, this is just to explain it. They're making these yards, they're kind of non-designated program yards.
Yeah.
And so it doesn't matter what you are. If you want a program, they're going to put you out there. They sent the Bulldogs down to Ironwood. They got rushed. I think it was
150, 15.
150 is 15, man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And that's part of ghetto, I guess. But you know what I mean? There ain't no real like. It's hard to look. Yeah, I get it. You got to handle your business, but it's kind of hard to look at that with any type of honor. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know, you kind of respect the guys that went out there fucking knowing they were 15 deep.
Yeah.
Thing. You had another incident the other day in Folsom. But I've also been hearing this that I discussed it that on the level 4 at Corcoran, they tried to send some Norteños and some Woods there, and they said that they weren't going to program with Bulldogs.
You know, that's, you know, in our day that wouldn't have been accepted, but you know that's the way it is now. You know, it's a Big Lou.
Let me fill in Big Lou what I just was talking about, right? So we're talking about the historical differences, not just prison gangship, it's prison in general, right? Because I got some information from like some reliable sources the other day, right? That in Corcoran, I think it was a 3C yard. I think it was. I know it was a level 4 yard. They did a transfer. They've been transferring people all over the place right now. You know what I'm saying? Folsom just got off. Ironwood, the Bulldogs got rushed by a whole bunch. California City, all these prisons are doing a lot of moves right now. So I guess the Norteños and the Woods told the administration they refused to program with Bulldogs.
And that's all right.
You hear me on that?
Wow.
That doesn't. I've never thought I remember back in the days we would have to go out there.
Yeah,
you know
that's how.
The only time we would refuse is say like if we got sent down. This is how I used to school the youngsters. I go, if you get sent to Calipatria or somewhere like that, go on yourself, fucking lock your door up and grab your fucking zipper and start cutting your piece. Come out when your piece is ready. I say, stay in that cell for 3 days. Tell them that, hey, I don't want no problems or whatever they say. Just fucking cut that piece because metal on metal is always going to cut. It may take a while. Come out on your terms. You know what I mean? That would make sense. You know what I'm saying? But I've never heard of refusing the program. And I'm not saying it's a bad thing at all because I'm thinking maybe they're tired of the administration, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it would have to be something that had been approved, though. I mean, it would have to be something that was cleared to the top. You know what I mean? It would have to have been instructed not to keep.
Yeah.
And that may very well
There's still. You guys can hear me, right?
I can hear you.
We can hear the kids too.
You hear the kids going crazy.
You hear me?
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's a trip.
What do you think about that, Lou?
I don't think he can hear us.
I mean, that sounds funny, but it must have been a directive, shot down to go ahead and do that. But yeah, normally you would get CTQ'd for 3 days because they try to play that game with you, right? The IGI, if you stay on that yard too long, they'll CTQ you. That's their doing, but then they'll try to put in your head, oh, you guys are considered no good now. But yeah, go in that cell and do what you got to do. Construct what you got to construct. Come out and handle your business. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but then I heard this from another person, right? That there was dudes going to Avenal. They were refusing to go out there with the fucking program on a non-designated program yard with inactives. So this came through different sources. One of them I know is 100% credible. No question asked. They don't provide anything that's going to be false information at all. The other one a little bit questionable, but it goes parallel. It's kind of it coincides with what I heard over here. You know what I'm saying? So I'm trying to think what is the that's a shocker, but I mean I never thought we'd be on the same yard with the MA anyway, so or the AP.
Yeah, but that's something that would have to be cleared, like Luke said. It has to be cleared from the top.
Now, let me ask you, Sundown, something.
Maybe loud.
Hey, wow, you got a gay riot going on over there, bro. Bailey, far down.
Yeah. Hey, where you at, Luke?
Anyways,
crazy. Yeah, but anyway, that's something that had to have been cleared. It had to have been cleared. Now, maybe they've said, look, this is how we're going to combat this. Tell everybody not to program. We're all going to refuse to program. And that's something that they would have had cleared. You know what I mean? Yeah. Because if you don't go out, like you said, you're going to be, hey, why didn't you go out? You're supposed to.
You can go out on your terms, is what I'm trying to get at, but.
Yeah, that of course, yeah, but you better go out. It's like that would have had to been. Maybe that's the way they're combating this at the top. They're telling everybody, look, this is how we're going to combat the CDC.
Well, it's becoming an active versus inactive thing now. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And I think the inactives actually probably have the fucking numbers now. To be honest. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Let me ask you a question. And Lou, I don't really know this part of the history. Do you guys know of any other times where there was a attempted truce between the NF and MA?
Yeah.
What year?
That was back when they hit Cheyenne. Oh,
Well,
that was the
besides
first
that,
attempt.
we all know about that. Was there ever any peace agreement or attempt afterwards? Because I know they had one around 1969 and 70 for a while, to 71.
Yeah.
And then they kicked and shit. You mean?
Well, remember when Bo said that there always were, communications going on in the background. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That they always kept the channels open. That was what from Bo, and Bo would know, that was always open. As to whether or not there was ever a time, there were times that when we let each other slide. I know for a fact there were times we let each other slide. And like in the county jail there in Oakland, I remember that Snake was there, Pat Boone, and Spot. Now these are two captains, one from the AB and one from the NF. And Spot and Pretty Boy were there, and me and Snake were there, and it was like we left them alone, they left us alone. But that was Snake and Spot's call. Both Snake and Spot, who were both high-ranking people, made that call at that time. You know what I mean? To just leave each other alone.
Yeah, I didn't really. That's the only thing about the history, the AB history. I don't know too much about them, man. Like,
yeah,
who were the main players? I know that the main ones and stuff. But, you know what I mean? Hey, what do you think about Michael Thompson's little stories? Did you watch those?
Yeah, I think Michael Thompson. Let me tell you about Michael Thompson. He's a J-Cat. He's dangerous. You know what I mean? But he does. He's a killer. Michael Thompson's a killer. Yeah, he's a killer, and he did do some of the stuff. Some of the stuff he talks about, yeah, he did. But then some of the stuff, it's just way out there.
Yeah. He was a little choir boy and stuff. They say, man, around that time.
Yeah, he wasn't doing nothing. Remember when he claims that shit happened with the NF and Tracy?
He switched that story up though too, man. And then the whole biker incident and all that, man.
I didn't know he switched it up, but yeah, that never happened. I know that didn't happen. And he was a choir boy then. You know what I mean? He was quiet as a church house mouse.
I say, we promote it, man. 2023, Sundown versus Michael Thompson.
Yeah, I would get him. I would get him.
He's big, bro.
Yeah, I don't care. Big don't mean nothing to me.
He's not really big. He's not really big. He's just tall now at this point.
Hey, me and Lou will be the fucking promoters, bro.
Right.
I mean, he may do it, man. You guys are both martial arts, right? Fucking.
Yeah, I'll put mine against him any day. Yeah. You going to post office or what?
Yeah.
All right.
I gotta rock with Sundown, man, on that one, man.
Yeah, I put mine against him anytime, man. Yeah, I will rip his tail out.
He's allegedly a martial artist. You know what I mean? With all the other embellishments, I don't even buy it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he's hard to figure out, man. You know what I'm saying? He doesn't talk about his case. I mean,
well, the case he's fighting right now is supposedly
he's out right now. He's out.
Well, he was. What happened to the case he was fighting?
I have no idea, man. He probably was.
That was fraud. It was a fraud case. He tried to.
One of the cases he picked on was the Hell's Angel case out there in Oregon. You know that, right? When they tried to contract,
I don't know about that.
They tried to contract the AB to go wipe out a family up there. They didn't want to do it.
Right.
Yeah. You heard about that?
He supposedly voted against it. He was part of the inner council, or I don't know exactly the name of the inner council or the commission he was part of. Yeah, and he voted against it, and the vote it went through supposedly from his account. You know what I mean?
And that's why he walked away.
No.
Right, because I guess they wanted to kill the guy's father and his wife or some shit.
was kids too.
Yeah.
I mean, oh, kids too? Oh, wow.
Yeah, bro. I mean, I did I was reading up on a case. Because I look up for like certain cases. I was going to do stuff on like the most notorious killers. You know what I'm saying? And one of them, this one dude, man, that it was revolving around that family got killed. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah.
So back there. Stay there, baby.
So we've been talking a little bit about prison, man. A little bit. We're diving all over the place right now, man. These changes, though, man, with the laws, man. I mean, what do you think of everything that's going on in the communities right now? I mean, all I see everywhere I go, I see homeless, I see drug addicts, I see people fucking strung out, I see garbage everywhere. I don't even want to take when I have my kids, I don't even want to take them to the park. You know what I'm saying? I see this as a problem, bro. I guess,
yeah.
Huh?
Hell yeah, it's a problem. And they're gonna have to address it. It's to the point where some people are going back to prison just to have 3 squares and a cot. Going to jail just to have a place to sleep.
What I'm trying to get at is sometimes we push issues too hard about, we don't feel people should be locked up for fucking this and that, right? But you're not giving nobody any solutions, man, and then you're causing more crime because eventually these motherfuckers are getting spun out or they're fucking kicking that fucking that new fentanyl stuff, man. And
that's the problem. That's the problem, though. That's the problem. If you're a certain political party and they're a certain political party, it's F you. There's no middle ground. It's okay. You're putting this forward. We're not going to go for that, but yet nothing comes back as far as trying to meet a middle ground. Or let's hear what you guys got to say. It's polarized.
I think we're being played by both systems. I think we need to reject that shit, man, because it just caters to
both parties.
Yeah, bro. I think there needs to be a party, bro. I mean, for reals, bro. I mean, I think
that. Term limits too. You got all these old people that are they're out of step with reality, man. You know what I mean?
Term limits like a motherfucker. I'm all for term limits.
They're already knowing what's going on too, right? Because if you think about it, right, I've read statistics, right? Within a few years, there's going to be a whole lot of different. The minorities things going to switch. The Latinos are going to, or Hispanics are going to be one of the biggest populations of the United States pretty soon.
Yeah, especially in the 7 southwestern states.
Yeah, so they're going to try to curtail that for the voting rights. You know what I mean? Watch, that's what's going to happen, man. They're going to put all kinds of restrictions. They're going to sit there and say, okay, you have to be in this country for 15 years to vote and this and that. Watch. They're going to create a whole new laws because I see things changing. But you know what? I think that we need to reject both these parties because, look, I mean, there's certain things in the Republican Party I like. I like to do my money what I want to do with it. You know what I mean? The Democrat side, there's some things I like about it, but there's also a lot of things I don't like about it, man. Like, I don't like how they allocate our funds. I don't like how they spend our fucking money, our taxpayers' money. I could tell you like this, right? I know someone who's been arrested 2 times, and they've been on Section A since they've been arrested actually 3 times, and they've been on Section A since 2015. They've had their kid took from them twice. And you're going to tell me that we have to pay for their fucking Section A housing? That makes no fucking sense. While some people are busting their ass paying taxes and doing this and doing that, they're over there fucking getting their kid taken every 2 years. You know what I'm saying? That's the thing that I see too, man, is the way that that money could go to so much other things and resources. Like you said, man, the system doesn't have no rehabilitation no more. It's overpacked.
Prison doesn't. No, it doesn't. They need to go back to rehabilitation.
I mean, back in the days, you could go to prison. I mean, yeah, someone gets killed that morning, but you're still going to your fucking job that afternoon. You know what I'm saying? And you can get a trade and you can come out and make some yourself. Now it's like, now you have to go to a fucking level 1 fire camp or something like that to where you can get a trade just to fucking go do what you got to do. And now you got all
they got now is elementary school. That's all they got in the prison system. Elementary school.
Yeah.
But like we were talking about off earlier before the show, you see what's going on like with the transsexuals, in prison where they're paying for them to have all the medications and to have the sex transplants. I mean the sex change operations. They're actually conducting sex change operations in prison. You know what I mean? Where the guys are getting their shit changed, cut off and changed into rods, and we're paying for that. I'd rather see us paying for rehabilitation than paying for that. You know what I mean? for all that stuff that they're doing there. All the money that they're spending on that, I'd rather see them spending on some kind of rehabilitation. But then they turn around and say that this is a rehabilitation thing because it's helping these people who have mental issues and mental problems if they don't have these things.
They got those. They got those regardless. That's what it boils down to.
That's why they're cutting their shit off. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So then they go. So then they can go find. They can go find someone to be sold up with.
Yeah, I mean, hey, yeah, like all that bathroom issues with the transit, or I'm a man, but I really feel like I'm a woman, and you're going in the bathroom with my little daughters and granddaughters. I don't dig all that.
No,
I don't dig all that.
They got some weird shit. They got some weird shit nowadays, man. It's so sickening. I heard, man. When I heard about it, man, if I ever, oh my god, they got some sick shit wrong. These 27 genders and shit like that, and 32, whatever the fuck it is.
It's more than 20.
People that say, "Oh, if I feel like a grown fucking man can sit there and say, if I feel like a 3-year-old boy, I should act like a 3-year-old boy." What the fuck is that, man? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's the radical liberal side that I don't like. You know what I'm saying? As far as on that side, now on the Republican side, you got the all right, the motherfucking gospel preachers that fucking want to push everything just how they want it on you, and fucking have a little bit of racial tendencies, racial overtones.
Yeah.
There's no, like Lou said, you got to find that middle ground, because if you put the ones that are in the middle, a lot of times if they really sit there and have conversations, they probably agree on a lot of different things. The main things people don't agree on is maybe sometimes abortion. That's been one of the main issues, man. And that's why one area I don't really have an opinion on that. Like, if they do it, that's on them. I feel. I don't personally agree. I don't personally agree with it. Like, you know what I mean? I wouldn't. You know what I'm saying? But if you want to give
what I don't agree with, this is what I don't agree with. I don't agree with some broad being able to go have sex and not worry about it because she can just go kill a baby. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
How many have you had? Come on, after your fifth one, isn't that enough? And you're still running out partying and shit like that. It's just crazy.
Yeah.
A serious situation, okay. But
when it comes to that, though, you got the false narrative being pushed that people are killing their babies at 8 months in the womb. You know what I'm saying? That's ridiculous. You know what I'm saying?
Well, they're allowed to kill them after they're born in Virginia. That's murder.
They're not. I don't see no doctor doing that though.
I know it hasn't been done yet, but
they got some shit. They got some shit where if your wife is wearing a fucking, like, they have certain laws that will fucking make you laugh, believe it or not. Like if your wife is wearing a fucking coat on a Sunday and fucking, it's called adultery and shit like that. They have weird shit like that if you really look at the laws. I don't see them enforcing that.
Well,
just like a people in line voting, somebody can't go over there and say they've been in line for hours. They can't go and pass some waters. It's against the law in some states, and that goes to what you were piggybacking, what you were saying about laws being changed about Latino people having to be here for 15 years. That's that same type of concept. You know what I mean?
They're going to put impediments. They're going to do all that because they want to keep the votes, bro. They're already trying to push it. They're the ones trying to push that narrative to try to separate black and brown because, look, there's a lot of dudes, black, brown, white, all that come from, that are what you call the common people. You know what I'm saying? The ones that blue collar that work fucking hard or they're fucking poor.
Yeah. You know Dusty Rhodes type people.
They want
common man, baby.
I mean, no, they don't have to be. I mean, what I'm saying is they want to keep everybody separated, bro. Because if ever anybody, if you really think about it, we're all facing the same struggle. We all have the same obstacles. We have all the same oppositions.
We're all more similar than we are different, bro.
If you have, I've always been taught this. Okay, if you have a like-minded goal, why fight each other? Let's reach this goal because they're the enemy. But it never happens because the media puts all this stuff out there, right, to cause division. Then you got the people that live in the suburbs, right? I went to a BLM march. I didn't go to BLM. I came out fucking at the store and there was a BLM march everywhere, and I was like, "What the fuck?" I was laughing my ass off because I didn't see not one black person in the fucking crowd. These dudes are weekend warriors, social justice warriors, whatever you call them, man. They live probably in the suburbs. It's like when I lived in Santa Cruz. They were all like, this and that, right? But you went to Aptos or Capitola, and they seen you were Mexican or black in the neighborhood. The same ones that would be marching would be the same ones that calling the cops on you. So they're only doing it to feed their own self-esteem and ego. Okay, look what I'm doing. This is me. You know what I'm saying?
I'm so hip.
Yeah.
I'm so hip. Yeah.
I've seen it with my own eyes, man.
We need a third party. We need a new third party for sure. One that takes from both sides, the best from each side. Make a third party.
Who doesn't get corrupt by the time they get up here? That's the problem, is because a lot of times you have these organizations that start, they have a good purpose. They have ideologies that people could relate to. And
with everything.
When money gets involved, right? When money gets involved, power and reputation legal, and then they start to have all these conversations with powerful people, their whole fucking idealism changes. It's no longer about this and that, it's all a front. So you got to get them before they become corrupt. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yep.
And I have not seen really a very, very strong leader that's came out really that hasn't been fucking compromised one way or another. You know what I'm saying? They all get compromised one way or another. It's like when I used to see fucking Al Sharpton and all them fucking talk, man, I was like, man, these dudes are fucking con man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Straight up, man. They need new blood. They need some new leadership. They need a new party. You know what I'm saying? They need to quit making the fucking laws so fucking complicated, because they make amendment after amendment to all these laws and shit, man, to where you have to go through a whole fucking room full of stuff to figure out what the fuck it means nowadays.
Amazed. Yeah, the Democratic Party. You got Durbin, you got Leahy. They've been in there over 40 years. You got Chuck Grassley. He just got voted back in. Been there over 40 years. These Pelosi, Schumer, McConnell. They've been there too long. Let's get these guys out. But they keep getting voted back in. So I mean, but they need to get people in there that are in touch with reality. You know what I mean?
I don't like that Newsom character either, though. Too much either, though, bro.
Yeah,
you know
they control the machine, bro. They showed us they control the machine.
There's a lot more to him than people realize.
Yeah.
Because I mean, like, he's very corrupt, man. Like, on a whole.
Yeah, he's also related to Pelosi. And what was
her
it?
nephew or something.
Yeah, and also with Biden too. No, don't do that.
I mean,
they're all incestuous, man. They're all interrelated and shit like that.
Mankind in general is just selfish. That's what it is, bro. Tribalism, selfishness. You know what I mean? Nobody wants to be supportive of stuff. We see it all the time. You can see just fucking on YouTube. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And we're not going to get nowhere and establish nothing if it keeps on being like that with the people out there, man. Like, I have yet to see anybody, like I said, Cesar Chavez did his thing, man, but he was also he also had some questionable actions on his, as we all know. You know what I'm saying? But he did establish a lot for the people, though, in some senses. But since then, who have you had that's been a raza, or of raza, of Hispanic descent, Latino, whatever, right? Who have you seen that's came through that's been an actual leader? That's actually pushing. You don't have, on a high level, not no small level.
I haven't seen anybody.
Just the ones that are around right now. I mean, if you want to call them leaders, Rubio,
Cruz.
I mean, I'm just saying, Ocasio-Cortez, Gutierrez from Chicago.
Like her either. I mean,
he retired though.
She's. I mean, I don't like her either, man. I mean, because she just makes herself. She's like reminds me of that ex that we fucking would pick at you like this and wouldn't leave you alone and shit, and just thinks she knows it all.
She's an actress. She was a wannabe actress that answered the call.
But a lot of people I don't know. I never really listened to her. But I know she's like, far right or far left, excuse me. But she does got a lot of people, especially the young people, they pay attention to her. I don't know where she'll be in 10 years from now. I don't know. I'm just saying.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
So she has too much.
She'll be a Nancy Pelosi if she lasts.
Maybe.
They have to they're trying to turn that party with them into a socialist party, man.
Yeah.
So it started with Obamacare. That's basically a fucking form of socialism if you think about it. You have to get medical. You have to do this. This is all that we're offering.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, and everything else. They've slowly, if nobody sees it, they've slowly started to take our rights since 9/11, man. The Patriot Act and all that, man. To the COVID virus. You know what I'm saying?
I don't dig that. Patriot Act, that thing is gives them any excuse to tap into your phones. You know what I mean? Anything now. They'll use that for excuse.
All your rights. Yeah, suspend all your rights.
And what pissed me off, right, is this, right? The same people that would be like, did you get the vaccine? Right? Or the same people that be like, when you about abortion, my body, my choice. Be the same fucking people that make that fucking statement, right?
Yeah. What's the difference? Yeah. What's the difference?
It's my body, my choice. You know what I mean?
Yeah, my body, my. Yeah.
You know?
I ain't took the vaccine. My body, my choice.
Exactly.
I don't take none of that shit. I don't know what's in it. I'm not taking it. Just like in the joint, they give you the flu shot every year. I don't take that shit. I don't know what's in that shit. I'm not your guinea pig. You know what I mean?
You know?
I ain't growing a third nipple.
See,
any of that.
Let me ask you something, right, Lou? Your hate for Trump. Your hate for Trump gave us. You think that gave us Biden? Like people's hate for Trump? Do you think that was a smart move for the country at this time? I'm just curious. I know you. I know you can't. Yeah. I know you can't stand Trump and all that.
Hold on. I don't like the shit he says. Right. I don't like some of the shit he says. But
I don't like the shit he says either.
There's some things that he like. As far as us giving all this money to other countries, I back him on that. Us paying all the money into NATO and all these other countries don't pay what they're supposed to pay, what they agreed to pay. Like when he had the G7 summit, or I believe that's what it was, or it might have been the NATO convention. I think that's the G7 they talk about. Well, anyways, he was saying like, Germany. He's like Germany. They're talking about, oh yeah, by at that time, I think it was 2017. They're talking about, by 2020 we could pay that. And he's like, you guys got a lot of money. You can start paying it now. There's some things that he says that I'm with.
I remember you guys would argue about it. It cracked me up, right? You should.
But this is the thing. That Biden. He does say dumb shit. He does say wrong things. That's not what he's talking about. Off topic. He's somewhat
puppet.
Maybe dimension. I don't know, but he's always said a lot of dumb shit. And the thing is this is how I feel. You don't have to agree with it, obviously, right? But the way things were handled with that pandemic, if a lot of shit was handled a lot better, especially also pushing the narrative that the election was stolen, not letting the transition team in when they're supposed to, like all over, in the past, it always happened. Things would have been different.
I agree with you, and I also agree. I think that you have to go even further on that, like with the, when they signed that dude. What's the dude that investigated the NF? What was that?
Yeah, Robert Mueller.
Why was it that important for them to do that? Like stuff like that. I agree with everything you say, and I think all that stuff they were doing, it becomes a distraction to all the parties that they can't get together and focus on anything. And it's like this. I agree with this. I'll say this. I think that Democrats should have gave fucking Trump, a chance to be president, and I think the Republicans should have given Biden a chance to be president. You get what I'm saying? Because, like you said, whoever's president. Okay, look, I said this before all this happened. Before even Trump was president, when he won the first election, I said, look, I don't care who's president. Whoever's president, I'm going to support because I live in this fucking country. Why would I want the fucking president to fail? You know what I'm saying? But you had motherfuckers because they didn't like his character and his ego and the way he talked, that they just wanted him out. Mm. They did everything they could to destroy him. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I'm curious. I want to know about the COVID fucking results of the deaths, right? But I want to see about those other people because they have percentages of what people die from every year, as far as auditory, respiratory diseases, all that stuff. I want to see if those declined. I want to compare the percentages because I want to see how bad COVID really affected it. Because there's a lot of people that maybe were going to die anyways over even the common cold. So,
well, everybody died. Everybody in any way that died, they were claiming was COVID related, so they could get the money.
Well, I know that. That's what I'm saying. I want to compare the statistics that they have because I looked at all that stuff, right? And I wanted to see, and the things that were common were auditory, respiratory, stuff like that was a common thing. I see there was a lot of deaths like that. So,
yeah, but
the statistics were they were always going up. So if those stats decline, we know what time it is, man, because I don't
did you guys did either one of you guys catch that shit?
Hell
no. I caught it. I caught it right just 2 months ago. I caught it 2 months ago. So after 3 years not catching it, I ended up catching it. And I remember sometimes I would cough and I was spitting that shit up and like my sides would hurt bad. Like you know what I mean? And it took a lot of your breath away. But
that's old age,
I haven't. Yeah, it could be, but I ain't had no issues since.
Wait, bro, that's where that shit comes from. I don't know. Like,
yeah.
I can't speak on it because I never had the COVID, so like I won't speak on it because I don't know. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Thank God I haven't.
We gotta be careful about talking about this, guys, because they could.
Yeah, I know.
You guys.
Yeah. Anyway, but we need a new third party. We do need a new third party. And as far as the prison, back to the prison thing, the changes inside there. We need rehabilitation to come back in. We need to have actual rehabilitation. as far as the violence and everything, it's gonna rock and roll for a little while longer till they straighten out. And I think that the top is telling everybody not to program. They're saying don't program, don't go along with it, don't go along with it, and that has to come from the top. It has to come from the the
Yeah, we
top
know.
four.
Yeah, we know.
You know,
We know that
so it
that's
has to come from them to tell everybody don't go along with it. That's how we combat it. And so I think that that's what's going on. I think that we're seeing these people refusing to program. I think it's sanctioned for them not to program. I think that it's probably
well, yeah.
sanctioned.
I was told for a minute they were trying to send people over there to infiltrate the yards. You know what I'm saying?
Uh,
That they were being told because when I was talking to Half Dead, man, I talked to him off air besides the recording. He's like, yeah, he goes, he talked to someone that told him that they were supposed to infiltrate the yards, and unless there was priority targets, you know what I'm saying? They were supposed to see what they could do and see what they could salvage. Because now, like this non-designated program yard, it's like this. If you don't have no really, really bad pass, right? Or something that would fucking call for them not to put you out there, there's like, fuck it, you guys are all going out there now. You know what I'm saying? And they've been doing it, but now they're doing it extremely. You know what I'm saying? They've been, if you slowly notice, they moved all the level 2s from Solano a couple months ago. They started moving bulldogs out of fucking Pleasant Valley to go to fucking Ironwood. That makes no fucking sense, man.
no, it doesn't, because they should have had left them at Pleasant Valley. I don't know why they didn't just leave them there.
Well, they tried to do it in 2019, 18. They were getting off in Soledad all the time. You know what I'm saying? So you know what's going to happen. And it's like, I actually had so I had a couple people reach out to me. A correctional officer actually reached out to me, and this is what they said. They said that, that all this stuff that's being implemented is coming from Sacramento. That none of these people in Sacramento have ever walked a yard, have ever walked a tier, have ever did any of that. They don't know how to fucking deal with issues or deal with the problems that are going to exist. They just expect that they could throw them out there and they're going to fucking get along. And this CO said that they were worried that someone's going to end up getting killed because of the policies that they're trying to implement. You know what I'm saying? Because they're not having people are in there like this is what's going to happen, but they're not listening. They don't care. You know what I'm saying?
No, Sacramento doesn't care. No, you're right.
No.
And that's why the only way to combat it is to refuse to program with them. Say no, we're not going to do it. And make them change it. Otherwise, you're going to go out there and have a bloodbath. And Sacramento's already showed that they don't care about that. They don't care about people going out there and killing each other.
Well, they've been doing that for like what? How long? Forever, bro.
Yeah, forever.
Look what happened. Look what happened in Corcoran Shoot, man. What happened there, right? Was those officers were doing some scandalous shit, right? They were staging fights. They were taking people. They were yelling out, "Let's get ready to rumble," and pulling whoever out. But the reason why they beat that case was one reason and one reason only. Because in the department operation manual,
policy,
they were enforcing policy. So that's why they have these policies with the non-designated program yard, because it covers their ass. But now you got enough of us that are on YouTube that are saying, no, this isn't going to work. This isn't going to happen. I mean, they have to be listening to us here and there. Someone has to be putting it in their ear. You know what I'm saying? They have to. You know what I'm saying? So it's only a matter of time till someone gets killed that's not an in-house cleanup. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
When that happens, they're going to fucking have a lot of blood on their fucking hands, man. You know what I'm saying?
Well, it's going to happen. Sadly, it's going to happen most likely. I don't know. I'm glad I'm not in prison.
No doubt. Gracias a Dios.
Yeah, for sure, man.
Yeah.
Kids, anybody out there listening, man, like prison is not the place to go. Just so you guys know, it's not like how
the place to be.
You know what I mean?
When I was young, what's crazy? When I was young, I mean, like when I first went to prison.
You like prison, huh?
I liked it. It was crazy, huh? I liked the gang shit. I liked all that crap. I liked the prison. I thought it was fun and shit like that. And now, but hell, I must have been fucking retarded, man. To ever think that it was fun.
You'd rather be in prison with a bunch of men than out there in the streets with women.
Yeah, well, I had family visits.
It ain't even so much that; it's just being free. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know.
If I want to open my door and go outside or in the backyard, I can do that. If I want to take a walk,
Hey, that's the truth, man. Like, the average person in life that doesn't go to jail or prison their whole life doesn't understand how much, people would appreciate just to have that sense of like going out there and actually smelling fresh air that's not surrounded by a fucking prison. You know that
Yeah.
first smell you get, man. That's the most. Even when you get out, I couldn't even eat the first fucking couple days when I get out, man. I'm so excited, man. And I think the longer you're out, the less we start to appreciate that, man. You know what I'm saying? I think
I
that's
appreciate. I appreciate it.
I forget, man. I forget because it's been a long time, man. But for a while, it was all like straight
This is the longest I ever stayed out. You know, I've been out 12 years now. You know, and I'm grateful still. I'm as grateful today as I was the first day I walked out. You know?
Yeah.
And because that's after 33 years of being in and out, and the last 18 flat. You know, that's you know, I mean, today I'm still as grateful as the first day I walked out. You know, I am grateful. You know, like when they took the case. Remember, I was going to court. I was fighting this fucking case and going to court. Now, with them taking me back and forth to court, they reminded me that they had control over me. You know what I mean? I was back with that chain around my neck, you know, because they had power. The court had me going to court. They were charging me with helping prisoners, you know, practicing law without a license.
Yeah, practicing. You were a fucking fake lawyer.
Yeah, they were saying that I was practicing law without a license. You know, I never told anybody I was a lawyer. I never ever said I'm a lawyer. You know what I mean? But they just didn't want me helping prisoners. Even the deal that they offered me.
Let me ask you something though.
Yeah.
How did those charges come up? Who told on you?
The state bar.
Who reported you
the
this?
State bar. Some nut. You know, there's some nut guy that had a child molestation case that I was even gonna help him. I was even gonna go. It didn't even cost me money, you know. And finally, I got tired of it.
Why did you even try to help him? I couldn't do it
because I believed he was innocent. I believed he was innocent.
Well, look, wait a minute. Take that back. Yeah, because maybe, you know, sometimes people do lie, man. It does happen.
True.
You know what I'm saying? So, you know, maybe he read his paperwork and you know, there was hey, it's happened, man. I don't give a fuck. That's why you can't just jump to conclusions as soon as you hear, oh, this guy got arrested for this or that. You got to investigate. It's very important because,
I believe to this day that he was innocent, but he was a fucking J-cat, man. You know, I guess from being in there and all that shit, I don't know, but. And I finally, I tried to help him, and I finally said, "Look, dude, your people are not cooperating. I needed the paperwork. I even offered to go pick it up."
Yeah.
Lord, send angels to go towns to go and let your angels be there ministering your mercy, your life-saving grace, and let Jesus be glorified there. Anyway, so I even offered to go pick up that paperwork and all that shit, to drive down and pick it up from his father. But it became too much of a problem. I had too many other cases I had to work on. So I eventually had to tell him, dude, I can't give no more time to you because I got other cases. You know, and your people are not cooperating. So anyway, so he was the one that tried to jump on there. He had some lawyer get at me and tell me I owed him $3,500. This guy never gave me one penny. You know what I mean? And I don't know what he thought he was going to try and get out of me. And he was a nut, man.
Are you still going to court?
No, I was going to tell you. I went to court for over a year, and they finally dismissed the case. Praise God! But the feeling of him having that over my neck, man, the power they had, they still had control over me. At any time, they could have put me in jail. You know what I mean? Because I was going to court. I had their authority over me. So I felt like I was still, you know, I did not like it. I did not like that feeling at all. So when they finally dismissed the case, oh my God, I was grateful. Thank you, Jesus. You know what I mean? It was like being set free again.
I've never, man. I've had bad luck every time I try to go in front of a judge or any type of hearing. My Romero hearing, I went, and this was like in 2003, right? Mm-hmm. My Romero hearing, my fucking own attorney was bringing up my fucking validation and shit after the DA brought it up. They had me on the stand, and they were asking if I was this and that. This is my Romero motion. I go up there. I didn't even plan. I thought I was going to have time. I wanted to postpone it. It was September 16th, too. What a fucking day, huh?
Yeah.
So they get me on the stand to fucking speak for my Romero motion. Why, you know, and the thing that they had was I couldn't take care of. This is what the fucked up thing about it. I couldn't because of my gang status, and I was always either on the 4th floor or I was on the fucking high power down in fucking the old jail, right? I couldn't have access to anything that was resourceful for the courts. So I was punished based upon the fact that I couldn't go to any drug counseling. I couldn't go to a drug unit or anything like that because I got caught with possession of dope at the time. I couldn't go to anger management or anything that would make me look good. what I'm saying? People forget, man, like, the way they classify you at times, man, they fuck you over, man. So I went straight there. I get on the stand and stuff, and I guess the DA contacted the fucking the county jail, right? And they found out I was running the jail. I was running the new jail, and then Chuco had the old jail. And so until they snatched me up at like 2 a.m. So they got all that stuff. They got all the validation reports from the state, and they brought that shit up. And here comes my fucking attorney going, "Isn't your mantra blood in, blood out?" I'm like, oh my fucking God, my own fucking attorney, man.
Yeah, what's he asking you that kind of question?
Attorney, man.
Yeah.
What a truck.
Richard Pointer.
Right then and there, you should have made a Mars motion. I would have made a Mars motion right then. He probably
owed the DA on that one.
Yeah, I paid him back.
The next one was his.
I mean, I think they got the strike stricken. The first one, no. I was trying to fight that on my own because I'm like, look, when I took this deal, the 3-strike law existed, right? This was 1996.
Yeah.
It existed, so I was aware of it. And the charge that I had did not fall under a strikeable offense. So I took a deal. In 2002, I think it was, they changed the fucking 3-strike law. They made all kinds of new charges that now you could be strikeable offense.
But that was illegal for them to take you back and charge you with that.
So that was my whole point. I'm like, look, when I took this charge, when I pled guilty, I was aware. I was trying to fight that. I filed fucking motions. I said I was aware of the 3-strike law, and I said before I took a deal. I said, is this going to be a strike? No.
Yeah. Well, they can't take you back. See, that's called ex post facto.
No. There was no. I caught a new case. Is what I'm getting at. No. So now I have my strike. So they're trying to use it as a strike, and I'm like. The whole purpose why I took the deal.
Okay, I see what you're saying.
It's still a form of double jeopardy, though. I already done my time on this. Okay, yeah, I was given a strike, but now because I caught a new case, you're bringing up something that I already done time for, and now you're doubling me up.
That's why when they imposed all those laws, they should impose them from that point forward. If you get these 3 strikes from that point forward, not because back then you didn't know that there was going to be a 3-strike law back then, because a lot of people would have probably fought their fucking cases back then. You get what I'm saying? And so that was my thing was, look, I was aware there was a 3-strike law. I only took this deal because you guys told me that it wasn't a strike. So now I catch a dope possession case, right? And you guys are trying to give me fucking, you know what I mean? You guys are trying to strike me out? Oh, fuck no. You know what I'm saying? And that's the way the system works. That was a big issue, man, because like I think that they should have when they implemented that law in 94, they shouldn't have been able to go backwards on any of the old cases. They should have just stayed right.
Yeah, that's one of the big issues. But see, they got around it by, like you said, the keyword policy. The CDC gets away with shit because they said policy. Well, the law, when they changed it, there was a phrase in there that allowed them to get away with it. Policy. Again, here we go with that. You know what I mean? That is sentencing. It's in the sentencing law. And the Supreme Court said that as long as the legislature had implemented this as a policy, that they were able to do it. All right, there you go. Go to your mama.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm gonna tap out. I got that live coming on in 5 minutes.
Yeah, we're gonna tap out now.
All right, brother.
Guys, so everybody stay out. Close real quick.
All right, my brother. Anytime, Flacco. Yeah, Flacco. I love you, brother, and I respect the fact that you keep it real, brother. And I love you, brother.
Keep it on the real.
You know I love you, brother. You know I love you.
Oh, easy. Don't say none of that. They might make a gay video about us.
Yeah.
Right. Stupid ass mofos.
Sit down. I don't keep a bush, bro. Okay.
Okay.
Amazonian.
All right. Amazonian shit, bro.
Yeah.
Do me like that. All right, brother. All right, guys.
All right,
guys. Have a good one.
Oh, that's funny. Oh, shit.